Today we're continuing our look at the Skywalker Saga, or rather the important stories that took place in between the major episodes of the saga. Last week we covered the canon stories that took place in between A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back, and this week we're going in between episodes 5 and 6. This is one of the lesser explored eras of Star Wars so far, only having one book and a handful of comics. There's only a 6 to 12 month gap to deal with, so that makes sense, and we know that the upcoming Star Wars comic by Charles Soule and the new Darth Vader comic by Greg Pak will tell that story, but for now we'll talk about what we've got. Moving Target, written by Jason Fry and Cecil Castellucci, shows the Rebel Alliance discovering the existence of a second, incomplete Death Star. They need to start gathering their forces without catching any attention, so Leia offers herself up as a high-value prize for the Empire, having them chase her across the galaxy so the rebels can safely organize. During that mission, she winds up stealing an Imperial shuttle called Tidarium. When she returns to the fleet, Luke tells her that he has a plan to rescue Han from Jabba the Hutt. In Forces of Destiny, we see Leia begin to act on that plan, seeking out Maz Kanata on Ord Mantell. She is met by the bounty hunter Bosch, who is killed in the following fight, providing Leia with the disguise she needs to infiltrate Jabba's court. From there, she travels to Arcanus in her Age of Rebellion issue by Greg Pak. Using her disguise, she fakes Lando's death and appears to steal Chewbacca as a bounty from Bossk. This gives all three of them a solid cover story for their infiltration of Jabba's palace soon after. Meanwhile, Luke has continued his Jedi training on his own. In his issue of Age of Rebellion, we see him lead a rebel attack on an Imperial refinery in spectacular fashion. His team is ambushed, and the Emperor connects with him through the Force across the galaxy, encouraging him to leave the fight and run away. It's a thought that Luke is forced to entertain for a moment, but he returns to his senses and protects his friends. And finally, we get a little taste of the Imperial side of the war in the TIE Fighter comic by Jody Houser. We follow one of the squadrons of the feared Shadow Wing in the final days before the Battle of Endor. They deal with defecting Imperial officers, a small rebel fleet, and one of their own attempting to join the Alliance. The comic ends with the announcement that the second Death Star has been destroyed and the Emperor has been killed. And that's all we have between Empire and Jedi right now. I'm excited to get that period fleshed out. Even in Legends, the time between episodes 5 and 6 wasn't overly explored. Shadows of the Empire was kind of a big deal when it was released for that reason. But now you should have a very basic understanding of what happened to the Skywalkers during that time period. Next week, we'll cover the stories that take place in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. Until then, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.